For several weeks now, rumors have been circulating about the Model S and Model X refresh, and just 2 days ago, Tesla officially confirmed these by releasing a lot of new information on these updates. Today, I want to unpack some of these changes and call out some pretty cool new features that will be included in the 2021 Model S refresh. One thing I noticed right away is that the price of the long-range Model S has been increased by just over $10,000 to $79,990. This was cut several months ago to align more closely with the Lucid Air, which has a base starting price of $69,900. So a pretty significant price increase that may or may not match up with the new features you'd be getting over an older Model S. For that price of $79,990, you are getting an estimated 412 miles of range and 670 peak horsepower. If you want to compare that with the Lucid Air, you would be looking at 406 miles of range and 480 horsepower. Performance specs aside, my bet is that most people are going to be looking at overall range when deciding between these two cars, and with their max ranges being so close, we'll have to look further at the Model S to see what justified the $10,000 price hike. The interior for the Model S has remained relatively unchanged for the past several years, and while the 2020 refresh does include some exterior fascia changes, most of the updates occurred on the interior. And just taking a look, you can see that this interior is quite a bit different than its predecessor and much more in line with the theme you'll encounter in a Model 3 or Model Y. Most notably is the center screen, which has now changed to a landscape orientation and even more importantly can now swivel left and right. And this small detail is something that many Model 3 and Model Y owners have complained about, as the fixed display is not driver-centric and locked in one position. And it's unclear to what extent the screen will be movable, and you can see that unlike the Model 3 or Y screen, the Model S screen does meld more seamlessly with the entire front console. By far the most talked about change is the new yoke steering wheel, which has unsurprisingly generated some polarizing viewpoints. And Tesla has a reputation for bending the conventional automotive design rules, and this new steering wheel is something I would have to try before passing judgment on it. In just briefly thinking about my normal driving habits, I typically don't rest my hands on the top portion of the steering wheel, and if anything, they are near the 3 and 9 o'clock position. And taking a look at the new wheel, it appears that this would be conducive to this style of driving. Just like one-pedal driving and many other Tesla features, the new wheel will certainly take some time getting used to, but I do understand how reliance on autopilot and full self-driving is pushing Tesla towards less invasive steering designs. In taking a look at the driver's side of the cockpit, you will see that there is no longer any driver stalks for gear selection, blinker operation, or window wiper use. Now the buttons for the turn signals, lights, horn, window wipers, and voice control are all integrated into the steering wheel, leaving the area behind the wheel looking exceptionally clean. And it's unclear how gear selection is going to work in the Model S, but as of right now, it appears that will be controlled by the center screen. There also may be some reliance on autonomous features for gear selection, and Tesla is once again eliminating features of the car many would argue are integral to its operation, and I can honestly say I'm not sure how I feel about not having a stalk or knob to control gears. The possibility of the car being in control of gear selection also might make certain edge case driving scenarios pretty difficult if you are unable to manually put the car into neutral, drive, or reverse. Now taking a look in the back seat, one small but very nice feature is the inclusion of a wireless charging pad for 2 smartphones. And this will enable all 4 occupants of the car to have access to wireless charging via the front or back pair of chargers. Most people spend a significant amount of time in their cars, and I can confirm that having a wireless charging pad has been very convenient. I try not to charge my phone every night or let it sit on a charger for an extended period of time, and having the wireless charger in the car means I can top off my phone while driving to work and stick to charging every 2 to 3 nights at home. Looking at the Model S's exterior, the familiar design is still present with some slight modifications to the surrounding fascia. All of these slight changes led to a drag coefficient of 0.208, which is the lowest of any production car on the planet. And all this means much less wind resistance, especially at higher speeds, and contributes to the Plaid Model S having a 0 to 60 time of about 2 seconds, which is also the fastest acceleration of any car currently in production. So it's pretty clear to see that at a very high level, the new 2021 refresh is bringing some significant changes to the Model S. And while I neglected to talk about the return of ventilated seats and also Tesla's new noise canceling technology, it's clear that the upgrades to the Model S are positioning it to compete more closely with the Lucid Air. Are all these changes worth an additional $10,000? The market will have to answer that question, and like most new Tesla models or refreshes, the prices do tend to decrease over time. And the Model S will continue to be the flagship vehicle for Tesla, and it will be interesting to see what changes from this refresh make their way into the Model 3 and Model Y. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video today, and I'll see you in the next one.